Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to make a video talking about something I recently learned about that has made me very annoyed and irritated and angry and all these negative emotions. And what I'm talking about is there is an entirely new genre of games being created right now that I'm not okay with. And you might be thinking, Holden, why aren't you okay with an entirely new genre of games coming out and being made? And the reason being is, obviously you've clicked this video, you've read the title, you looked at the thumbnail, and it's talking about, Bitcoin and card games. And what I mean by that is the new genre of games that I'm talking about is what they call blockchain gaming. And what that means is it utilizes kind of the blockchain, which is kind of like what Ethereum and Bitcoin do. I just used Bitcoin in the title because a lot of people know what that is, versus not a lot of people know what cryptocurrencies are, like as by the title, or Ethereum or whatever. So it's not using Bitcoin, but it's using what they call Ethereum. Most of these are, and what they are is the entire genre. The kind of idea behind it is you own whatever is in the game, because obviously you've played games like Overwatch or stuff like that, or Hearthstone, where you buy cosmetics or cards, in the instance of Hearthstone, and I've spent like $700. I've quit Hearthstone since, but in the like 5 years playing it, I spent a lot of money on it. I spent like $700, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, but I did. And when I wanted to quit Hearthstone, all my money's locked in the system. I don't really own the cards I own. It's kind of still theirs. There's nothing I can do with them. So the concept behind them is, well, you'll have actual ownership of your cosmetics that you buy in a game, or you'll have ownership of your cards and card games. And I want to make something straight. I am okay with the cosmetic side of it, because obviously something similar to this has kind of already existed. The Steam market, a lot of Steam games, you own pretty much the items in your inventory. In CSGO, you own those weapon skins. In TF2, you own those hats. You can sell them on the market. You can sell them to people with on PayPal. You just kind of have to organize trading and stuff like that, so it can be a little convoluted. But they're yours. You can sell them on the market and stuff like that. Obviously, you could get banned in the game, and your account, your items could be locked in your account with no way to get them out. So technically there's some limitations on that ownership, but that kind of stuff has already existed. So what these games are trying to do on this blockchain gaming, or whatever they call it, is have all of these items be generated through the blockchain, and you have full ownership. So you say you get banned in the game or whatever like that. In watching one of these Kickstarters, and I'm going to be talking about two games in particular. One of the Kickstarters, they mentioned how not even the developers can take these items away from you. Even if you get banned or whatever like that, you'll still be able to sell the items or whatever. And like I was saying, is I'm okay with this in cosmetic purposes. So if they want to make it where, oh yeah, the hat you wear in your game is worth $80 billion or whatever, and you want to make a kind of stuff like that, go ahead. Personally, I think if you're making a game, it should be for the purpose of gaming, and to have fun, and obviously you have to monetize somehow, but just be monetize in not a way that's like forcing everything to be about money, because PUBG, it's obviously not a blockchain gaming game. The skins are just on the market, but if you want even some decent skins, because of the way the cosmetic system is made, you have to kind of buy them on the market, or hope you get them from gambling boxes, and if you look them up on the market, some of the cooler skins are like $400, $500, and that's absurd. And that's what this is trying to do. It's trying to replicate the Steam market, but have it be worth actual money, because it's going to be worth Ethereum, which will in turn be worth money. So in terms of cosmetic systems, them trying to use it in cosmetic ways, I am more okay with that than in what I'm going to be talking about in the meat of this video. But I still think that a game should be for the purpose of gaming. And obviously they can monetize some way, but I think attaching all items to cryptocurrencies that can be directly exchanged for money is kind of focusing too much on what the game shouldn't focus on. But What I'm really angry about is these card games that are coming out. And I'm going to be talking about 2 games here. One is called Gods Unchained, and the other is Zombie Battleground. Now, Zombie Battleground recently just had a Kickstarter, and it raised $272,000 around there. It had $271,900, and their goal was $250,000. And it's pretty much, it looks like Hearthstone. It really looks like just a crappy version, a knockoff of Hearthstone. Even in the gameplay, they show the game is running at like 2 FPS, and the game just doesn't look very good at all. It just looks like the whole gimmick of the game is not for the game itself. It's to have all of the stuff beyond the Ethereum market, and they'll all have actual value. And, you know, if you look at the rewards people actually backed, most of them, you know, backed not the ones that gave you a copy of the game, but the more expensive tiers that gave you these, you know, the early booster packs, because they're going to be worth money. You know, they think, oh, I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to immediately sell all the cards and make my money back. And I think that's one of the bigger reasons why this Kickstarter raised so much money, because people really believe that the cards that they're buying, they're going to be able to sell for more than it's worth. And, you know, although that might be true, it's still, people aren't going to be playing that game for the gameplay. Like, the entire gimmick of that is that they're worth real money, and it looks like it's just trying to be a crappy version of Hearthstone, and that's it. So that thing is, you know, kind of its own separate thing, because it's just trying to do that. It doesn't look like the gameplay's fun at all. In fact, out of the 1,060 backers, only 85 people backed the cheapest $10 pledge that gives you early access to the game and, you know, the game itself. Because, you know, everyone's wanting those cards that, you know, they'll be able to earn their money back. And that's kind of saying something. Now, the other game is Gods Unchained, and this game looks a lot more polished. It looks a lot more professional. The website looks a lot better. And this has the same thing. And by the way, I just want to mention something. You know, some people were talking about this on, you know, Reddit and stuff like that, and I chimed in a bit there. But a lot of these games, especially these card games, constantly talk about provable rarity. And, you know, they want to make exclusive cards and stuff like that have provable rarity, so your collection means something. And, you know, for Zombies Battleground, that terrible game that I talked about, at the very least, it doesn't look like it's trying to be, you know, the most fun esport game ever, or even a fun casual game. It looks like the entire gimmick is that they're worth money. But Gods Unchained is constantly talking, in all of the news outlets that it's being talked about, it's being talked about how it is going to be the first esport blockchain game. And the fact is that annoys me to no end, because card games in themselves are already extremely pay to win. You know, Hearthstone, I quit because it was too expensive to keep up with. I had spent $700 and I felt like I was still being forced to pay. It felt like you had to pay $100 to $200 a year just to stay competitive. And, you know, obviously you can grind free to play. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's heavily pay to win. And for a game that, you know, Hearthstone at the very least, it's pay to win, but there's not any of this kind of, you know, provable rarity, purposely making cards super rare where you'll have to spend, you know, thousands of dollars to get them. But, you know, this is, and it's claiming it's going to be an esport. And if I haven't convinced you yet, I have one piece of information that I was planning on making this video, and, you know, I was angry already. And I was looking through both of the sites just, you know, for a little more research before I made the video. And then I'm going to just read this out. Due to the transparency of the Ethereum blockchain, we can prove the exact rarity and quantity in circulation of every card. Okay, fair enough. That's what they're trying to do. Mythic cards are the rarest, with only one of each ever existing. We limit the creation of mythics to 4 per year. There are 2 mythic titans hidden in pre-sale card packs, and 1 more will be auctioned shortly after launch. The way to attain the final titan is a closely guarded secret. Keep your eyes open for clues. It might be closer than you think. So this game is claiming it's going to be an esport. It's claiming all of this stuff. Yet there's only going to be 1 of each of the rarest card in the game. And obviously we don't know what they are. We don't know if they're going to be good or not. But even if the card's terrible, the fact that there will be cards that only 1 player can own. So theoretically, if this game is trying to be an esport, which it clearly is because of how much they plaster on their site about esports, some rich person could just buy every single Titan and all of these cards and just have a complete monopoly on the game. And on top of that, if it doesn't seem even more like a, a kind of just super pay to win thing, the cheapest pack you can buy, because they have a whole set that you have to pre-order, and as of recording this video, you only have 15 more minutes to get the packs, on their sale. Once the game comes out, they're not making any more of these cards. So the only way you'll be able to obtain the cards in this set is through the marketplace, the Ethereum marketplace, and it is the cheapest pack you can get, and this is 20% off, is a rare pack that comes with 5 exclusive Genesis cards. At least one card is rare or better. There are 2 Mythic Titan cards remaining to be found. That's those like only one of a kind that you have a chance to find. It cost 0.04 Ethereum, which as recording this video is roughly around $16 to $17. So just a pack, a single pack, 20% off is $16 to $17 right now. And I find that absurd because that's not even talking about the epic packs that you can buy for 0.24 Ethereum that have a guaranteed epic, or the legendary packs that have a guaranteed legendary of 0.36 Ethereum. And then they have a shiny legendary pack that is 3.2 Ethereum, and it costs around, it costs over $1,000 to buy that pack. It costs more than $1,000 of Ethereum. And it's one thing, you can make exclusive cosmetics like that, but the fact that people right now can just, and you're claiming to be an esport, can just buy for like $45, $50. That's how much they're having to spend for a single legendary card pack, roughly, is absurd. And the fact that they're trying to claim they're being a huge esport while doing all of this is absurd, and it makes me so angry to think about, because I am someone that has spent my heart and soul into, Hearthstone, and, I get it. I get wanting to own cards. That's why I'm really excited for Artifact, the recent Valve game, because you'll be able to sell that on the market and stuff like that. But the thing is they've constantly talked about how they're trying to make the game not pay to win, and we don't know any of the kind of business details yet, so it might turn out this bad, but hopefully it's not, and it most likely won't be, just knowing kind of Valve and how they kind of do stuff like this. But just the fact that people are just eating this up, everyone, first it was Bitcoin, and now everyone's just wanting to jump on the cryptocurrency fad, and it makes me so angry that is infecting these card games. And that zombie battleground, that was one thing. That is clearly a cash grab. That is clearly something that is not going to be played at all. But this Gods Unchained is claiming like it's going to be. It looks professional. It seems like this huge esport, but it is so pay to win just off the bat easily. And it might turn out that this game actually has an esports scene, and to buy the packs, they're expensive, but you can just buy each individual card for cheap. But I highly doubt that. In order to guarantee a legendary, you have to pay around $45. That's insane. If you spend $45 in Hearthstone, at the very least you're going to get enough dust to craft a legendary, and a lot more, and most likely you're going to get a lot more than that. And it's absurd. This entire thing is just making me angry, and I appreciate if you listen to this entire rant. I really felt like I needed to get this out of my system, because I haven't been enraged by something in the gaming industry in this long, and this took the cake easily. So obviously part of the fun of making these videos is not only talking at you guys, and in this case ranting and screaming at you guys. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on it. Let me know in the comments down below if you actually like this idea. I'm not going to get mad or anything. We all have different opinions. Great thing about being humans. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions and have a conversation with you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. New videos come out every Wednesday and Sunday. And like always, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.